Get ready to dive into a world where empires stand on the brink of war and terrible monsters tear at the fragile borderlands of men. The Adventurer-Conqueror King System Imperial Imprint, or as we like to call it, Acts 2, is now live on Kickstarter. Acts 2 is the new edition of the acclaimed best-selling fantasy role-playing game. You'll find everything you need to enjoy epic fantasy campaigns with a sweeping scope. Whether you want to crawl through dungeons, experiment with alchemy, crossbreed monsters, run a merchant emporium, raise an undead legion, or even conquer an empire, Acts 2 supports your playstyle. Acts 2 integrates experience point mechanics, making campaign activities a seamless part of the core gameplay loop. Your character levels up in new and exciting ways each time you play, adding massive replayability to each of your adventures. Acts 2 offers 18 character classes, 378 spells, new combat mechanics, and so much more. Support Acts 2 on Kickstarter today.
Giant or somewhere in between. Round the table with your friends, playing Dungeons and Dragons. And if life ever knocks you down, your dice will surely turn around. Roll your stats, it's time to quest. Let's put your characters to the test.
Hello and welcome to Knocked Prone, a podcast of high crits, small fits, and varying wits. My name is Cade, and I'm the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure. And I am joined here by the players to my left.
Mason playing Lakir.
Brooklyn playing Litsea.
Jameson playing Jack.
Danny playing Tess.
Caden playing Torinn.
All right, here it is. Today we are fighting against Amulek. So last session, the party fought against Amulek, some in the material plane. Jack talked to his genie and was like, hey, genie, we need to be saved. The genie transported them to the Feywild, but not before Torinn had some mad Feywild magic go on and ended up sacrificing like 2,250 people, but that's good for Lakir, who needs 3,000 souls from Great Grumpopolis in order to not die. And that's where we left off. Lakir is currently knocked unconscious. So Jack, you just finished your turn with talking to your genie. Torinn, you are up in initiative. So you guys are in the basement of this hag hut. You are in the central room in the basement. As you might remember, last time you were here, you were fighting these ghost vampires that were playing a game called Blood Pong with these red solo cups. But now, instead of these party boy vampire ghosts, Amulek is staring you down as you guys are in a semicircle looking at him. Torinn, you are leading the charge on this, so what are you doing?
And Torinn got sucked from his, banishment or whatever, right? That Litsea...
Torinn, yes. Torinn was taken from the Feywild castle and was brought with you because of your wish, because it encapsulated your entire party.
Yeah.
So yes, Torinn, you are here in the basement.
For this turn, I'll just ready an action.
Okay.
If everyone else starts moving up, I'll go with them.
Okay.
Can I use that as just kind of movement?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you're gonna move up with them and potentially attack. Yeah, you could totally hold your action for later. Let's see. Last turn, you were in Great Grumpopolis, and all of a sudden, you are in this hag hut. And this hag hut seems to be just vibing with you and very much speaking to you. You seem to be able to take control of this hag hut. In fact, I have set a lair action for you once per turn on initiative 20, where you can do one of 3 things on a paper that I have specified in front of you.
I would like to cast Scorching Ray
Okay.
at 5th level.
5th level Scorching Ray.
27 to hit.
27 definitely will hit.
Lovely. My other rolls, I have 23, 26,
Okay, both those are gonna hit.
25, and then I got a nat 1, but I would like to use my luck to roll it.
Okay, great.
18 to hit.
18 meets beats.
Ooh. And the nat 1, and I'm not going to reroll that. So I'm going to successfully hurl 5 Scorching Rays at Amulek. 40 points total.
40 points of damage. Okay, that will be halved to 20 points of damage. The necklace around his neck pulsates as you hit him with this fire damage. It seems to have absorbed some. Lakir, you are up. I need you to make a death save, and then something will follow after. With a 17, you have 1 success in the death save column. However, in your dead stupor, smoke tendrils around you, and you wake up again in this astral plane that you were in before, and you see Vecna appear before you.
I'm not done yet.
I'm not here to collect your soul. I'm here to make an amendment to our contract if you'd like.
Right.
I told you 3,000 souls, and you've collected quite the sum. I feel wonderful, and 2,250 is a great amount. I've been holding a secret from you. That secret being, and I don't want you to get mad. You might get mad, and that's okay. I made a deal with your father many, many years ago to give him a body. Your father was stuck in Mama Sherry's hut and didn't have a body and told me he'd give anything to have one. And so we struck a deal. We signed a contract that stated that if Amulek was able to become the most powerful being of a realm, then he could keep his soul forever. But if Amulek was unable to become the most powerful being of a realm, then all of the power Amulek gained in his life would be forfeit to me. And, well, I seek to collect. And it seems that you are ready to collect. I know that the deal is already struck, but I present you this. Kill your father, or at least take his power away from him, and I give you the soul of Boggy Billy. Back to life. Free.
Alright. I think that should work. I don't have to kill him right away, though.
No, you can do what you want. I know that death is not a constant, and I know that that's something that you are very aware of, and I know that you would like to have him for a moment to teach him what he thought he was teaching you.
Quite. Alright. It's a deal.
All right. Well, I sure do hope you wake up, but with that, I'm gonna go now. So, have fun in the astral plane. And she, wilts away. And you have one success on your table, so you are A-okay. But with that, Amulek is up! Amulek is going to strut through the halls for a moment and say,
"Oh yes, my old home. Well, hopefully they're still here."
And he's going to run out of the room.
Does he take Lakir's body with him?
Yes, he drags Lakir's body away with him.
Son of a gun.
Tess, you are up.
In my rage, kind of run away from everybody, I'm just going to cast a second level healing.
You're going to cast second level heal?
Or, I guess the healing is in my form. I don't remember what that heal is called. But that is 15 HP.
15 points of healing. Wow. You heal yourself 15 points of damage, which is basically 30 in your rage form. Litsea, you're going to get a lair action as the house seems to spring to life. What are you commanding it to do?
The house is going to create swatting vines to whip Amulek.
Okay, roll to hit.
18 to hit.
An 18 just meets his armor class.
16.
16 points of damage?
Yep.
As you deal 16 points of damage to Amulek, his necklace explodes into a fiery fireball, in fact, and every single creature within his range is going to take damage. Which unfortunately, Lakir, includes you since he's holding on to, so you're going to take one more failed death save.
It's alright, because as long as I don't take another 60 points total, it's just a failed death save. So it's just one failed death save.
It's fine until it's not, Mason.
As this vine hits him, the necklace tries to absorb it, but instead explodes into a fireball, dealing 27 points of damage to everyone surrounding Amulek, which is including Lakir, but he's still alive, barely. A corpse on fire.
Anakin crawling out of the...
I hate you! 27 points of fireball damage are dealt to everyone in Amulek's radius. All of you guys are perfectly fine, but you see Tess, as you are closest to Amulek, that out of this necklace falls the body of...
No.
Captain Fluffy Hands. Guards Captain Fluffy Hands.
Okay. I like fluffy hands, but...
It seems that the damage that you guys were dealing to this necklace was being absorbed by Guards Captain Fluffy Hands. But with that, he is
dead or
dead,
just... Oh, okay.
Amulek has now taken a significant amount of damage as well on top of the necklace, but with it, that is the end of the lair action. It is time for my secret sauce.
Not the secret sauce.
Tess, Amulek has released a werewolf out of this cage.
Want to throw some claws down?
You might recall this werewolf as the one that you were like, oh my gosh, let's help him. And then he grabbed you and tried to eat you as...
Very rude.
Yes, very rude. But with that, he's going to deal a multi-attack at you. He's going to start with his bite. That is a 19 to hit.
Does it.
And then also he will deal a claw attack at you. That is a 17 to hit.
Does it.
Okay. You are going to take 19 points of damage, halved to 9 points of damage, as this werewolf bites and slashes at you, and it looks at you hungrily.
Still doing pretty good. I'm going to use my reaction to just lick the blood.
Lick the blood?
Just
wonderful.
in my chaos form, just...
he gets freaked out. He entered into your space. Go ahead and roll me a d8 for damage.
Heck yes. 2. Ooh. Get wrecked, son.
He takes a big old 2 points of necrotic damage, and with that, that is the end of the werewolf's turn. Jack, you are up.
How high are the ceilings?
18 feet tall. They're kind of vaulted.
So Jack's torn between this werewolf that's shown up, right?
Right.
But also chasing after Amulek and Lakir, because homies help homies, homie. Jack is going to walk up the wall using his slippers of spider climbing.
Right.
So he'll be 18 and a half feet off the ground, upside down. We're in Spider-Man strats now. And once he's up on the ceiling, out of range of melee attacks, hopefully, unless they're very tall, he will shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts at the werewolf.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
14 to hit?
A 14 will hit.
Oh my god, that's a 3 on the dice.
You cannot miss. A natural 1 you will miss, but other than that, you cannot miss.
Cool, because that one's a 17 natural. So, 22.
22 force damage. Okay. With 22 points of damage, this werewolf is not doing well. You can tell that he is not supposed to be the BBEG of this campaign.
I hope not.
Wait, the werewolf's not the BBEG?
You're telling me.
So I guess the closest person to me, I'm going to ask Litsea, what would happen if we trapped Amulek in the Shadowfell?
I don't feel confident we could actually trap him there unless you have a specific idea in mind.
Right. Is this portal behind us the only way into the Shadowfell?
It's the only one I know of. I'd be surprised if it's the only entrance.
I'm just gonna scream
The Shadowfell is home!
I'm gonna shrug at you and be like, it's good to brainstorm, while looking back over at pissy Tess.
That's what we're calling him now?
I feel like we've done quite a bit of damage to Amulek at this point.
Yeah.
I would like to cast Power Word Kill.
Wait.
He's going to cast Counterspell, but unless he counterspells correctly, you are looking at a knockout right here.
Is there a way I can combine this with Tides of Chaos, which gives me technically advantage?
He would have disadvantage at that point.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see what his first roll is. So he's going to try and counterspell this Power Word Kill. That's a 17 and a 4.
Oh my god.
Torinn, go ahead and tell me how you kill Amulek.
Aha!
He had 96 hit points.
Oh, nice.
So well done, Torinn. What is the word that you're Power Word killing him with?
I point at Amulek and I say, "This is my swamp."
So you point at Amulek and say, "This is my swamp." He drops to the ground, completely dead. And with that, is that the end of your turn, Torinn?
I forgot you had that scroll.
Amazing.
Amulek is dead. The big bad evil guy is done. Litsea, you are up.
I was ready to cast 6 other scorching rays at Amulek, and then I just watched Torinn totally obliterate him and just Power Word Kill. This is my swamp. Fall to the ground.
Is swamp the kill word?
Swamp is the kill word.
Swamp is the kill. As I witness this, I'm just gonna drop my spell and stare at him and say, "What did you just do to him?"
As you watch the life drain from Amulek's body, the 50% of Amulek that was Rakshasa fades away And Litsea, you turn into a full Rakshasa, unable to hide your form any longer.
I'm going to hop on my broom,
Okay.
and as I'm flying past Tess and this wolf, I'm going to cast Scorching Ray at the wolf at 2nd level.
You take 4 points of necrotic damage from Tess as you enter into his radius.
I do not give a care. Okay, so we have a 12,
That will hit.
a 22,
That will definitely hit.
and an 11.
That will also hit. Meets beats. Werewolf's armor class.
gosh.
16. I hit him for 16 points of damage.
Wonderful. Okay. Tell me how you'd like to kill this werewolf.
Oh, I don't even look at him. Like I'm actually flying to Lakir right now.
Okay.
So so I just like casually throw 3 fireballs at the wolf. Don't even look at him. Glad I didn't hit Tess in the meantime. And fly over to Lakir. I am going to start just prepping to cast a spell on Lakir, but that is all the action I have for this turn.
Okay, Lakir, go ahead and make me a death save.
Right. I got a 6 and a 2, so...
So you now have 2 failures in the death save column. You guys watch as Amulek's lifeless corpse is next to Lakir's lifeless corpse. You feel emotions shift. You expect to feel warmth and glad that the BBEG is dead, but you feel this coldness, this absence of life, and you feel the power around you start to thrum as you sense the gate to the Shadowfell behind you is calling out for a new master.
Tess, still in this form with everyone around him, just stab my claws into like the wall and just hold on as hard as I can just to keep myself there.
So you clamp your claws into this wall to try and keep your corrupted form from responding to the call of the Shadowfell, and you are successful in holding yourself there for the moment. Jack, you are the next in the initiative order.
He's gonna run into the hallway where Lakir and Litsea and Amulek's dead body are,
Okay?
using my action to move farther. I think that's all I can do, so...
Sounds great. Torinn, you are up. You see Lakir lifeless in the hallway. The enemies seem to have been dispelled of. There's a blood pong game waiting for you to play.
Same blood that the vampires had when we were here. It's like...
Oh, it's coagulated.
Yeah, it's just like...
disgusting.
As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Misty Step
Okay.
to poof next to Lakir.
Okay. Roll me a wild magic check.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20?
Yeah.
Okay. That's on the good table.
All right, 41.
With 41, you gain an additional spell slot of your highest level for 1 week.
Nice.
Yes, so power is inside of you as you gain an additional 5th level unused spell slot that you can now cast.
I'm going to use my action to give Lakir a potion of healing. Yeah, just the 2d4 one.
Okay, so you give Lakir a potion of healing. Lakir, you burst back into life.
My boy.
And so,
He lives.
Lakir,
I'll just... I'll look around. Again?
I grab Lakir by the shoulders and I say, Lakir, you've been asleep for 500 years.
What happened? Did you win?
Yes, I'm now king of the entire realm. I've been trying to wake you up.
Shove Torinn to the side, like all like flustered and everything. Grab Lakir by the shoulders and just like face him towards his father, who's dead on the ground.
Lakir feeling a mix of emotions. Oh, you had to kill him. All right. Yes. Yeah, no, it's all right. We did it. We did it.
Litsea, who's fully Rakshasa right now.
In the heat of the moment, rushing over here, still Rakshasa. Now that I've sat here for a second, and because I'm still hag, can I kind of like shake off this Rakshasa form?
No.
And
You are 100% Rakshasa.
Okay. So
It has
I'm
taken
gonna
over
try,
your
though.
entire
I'm gonna,
soul.
Like, try to look like I'm just gonna try to turn back into Litsea.
Can I tell that it's her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the voice. I
The
guess.
eye color, the voice, you got 20 intelligence.
I also knew she was gaining power this entire time.
Yeah,
right?
90%, and now she's at 100%. It's not much of a change. Litsea is fully Rakshasa.
You got what you wanted to then, it seems.
I guess you can say that.
I look around at everyone else kind of, you're still our friend, right?
Yes, of course. I would never do anything to hurt any of you. I'm gonna roll my eyes a little bit, walk around the corner to where Tess is freaking out with his claws in the wall. I'm gonna crouch down next to him and say, Tess, I'm sorry I didn't do this sooner. I just thought it might be helpful to not do it too quickly. And I'm gonna cast a spell to remove his purple goop curse.
Yeah. So you fully take the purple goop out of Tess. Tess, you watch this stream of purple goop come out of your mouth, and Litsea agilely dispels of it, and it's gone in a poof of air, and you feel 100% Tess, and maybe a little betrayed that Litsea hadn't done this sooner.
I'm still just gonna be like overwhelmed with emotion, confused by like the fact that Litsea's become full Rakshasa. Thank you. And then just like slump to the ground and just sit.
I'm gonna feel really, really bad.
Litsea, as you're feeling this sense of sadness, you feel the emotions of Mama Sherry within inside of you say, "Can you check on my children? Can you check on my children, please, please?"
Sudden guilty conscience, which is rare for me, but I'm gonna like scoop up Tess, because I assume as in Rakshasa form, I'm like pretty big, pretty yoked overall, yeah? That's how I picture myself.
Tess is like totally limp.
You're probably not like 3 feet tall anymore for sure.
Yeah, I imagine I'm pretty big. Anyway, and so I'm gonna like scoop up Tess. I'm gonna walk back over to the group, lay him down next to everyone else, and then I'm gonna walk around the corner in the other direction to go see if I can find Mama Sherry's children.
Okay, roll me investigation.
26.
26. You hear the little piddle paddle of feet upstairs, and as you go upstairs, you see a cacophony of children circling about, no longer blue skinned. They look to be fully formed humanoids. And as you are looking at them, Mama Sherry and Raven both explain to you, "These were the children mixed with the souls of the Eladrin that were trapped in the Winter Court Castle. Every soul of an Eladrin has now been encapsulated in one of these children." And as you're looking about, you seem to recall, Litsea, that Jack's father was one of the people who was trapped inside of the Winter Court Castle, one of the souls. And so you can assume that one of these children, in fact, contains the soul of Jack's father.
As I make that realization, previously I was just going to check on the kids and do what I needed to do to satisfy Mama Sherry. But I'm now going to say, "Come here, children," and I'm going to lead them downstairs to the rest of the group.
Yeah. Hey, guys, do you want to play punch each other in the face as hard as you can? Yeah.
As
Wait, how old are these kids? 'Cause I'm realizing...
They're 7.
Okay, well, in a very 12-year-old like fashion, 7-year-olds seem like babies. So, yeah.
You lead these children downstairs, and you guys all see Litsea bring an entire horde of children downstairs with her.
Do we have a plan to get back?
We still have the time anchors, don't we?
Right, but we still need to find a way to return. I currently don't have the spells in order to do so. I've used up a majority of my power for today. However, I can rest and regain some of my spell slots after removing my father's curse on me.
If we give it an hour, I can banish 2 of you at a time. Every hour, I can banish 2 people.
Is your banishment like mine, though? Because I can only banish people for a minute.
Yeah, it's the same spell. But it banishes them back to their plane.
However, Tess, you do feel a call to stay in the Feywild. Litsea, you, as far as you are aware, are native to the Feywild. Jack, you are indeed native to the Feywild. And Torinn, even, though you were raised in the material plane, you are feeling a sense of pull into a different plane of existence. You're not sure whether it's because the Dragonborn are all here in the Feywild and they need saving, or if it's something else. So, though banishment is a potential for some of you, the rest of you would just return after 1 minute.
How about the Knolls? They have a portal to the Fae, correct? They were here in the Fae with us when we were traveling through. We originally made our alliance. If you send me back, we could potentially convince them to allow us to use their portal and bring the rest of you back, if you so choose to be.
Look here, roll me a d4.
2.
You actually hear this ball of magic form in front of you, and hear a huge popping noise as you see Boggy Billy stand in front of you and say, "Well, howdy."
I hug him.
Okay, he hugs you back. He's like, "Nice to see you all again. Some lady appeared to me in a vision, and she said that Lakir brought me back, but in exchange for some dark power for herself. But that's okay, because here I am. Hi, guys. I can banish you. I have a portal back to the material plane if you like."
Wait, for a second, though. I'm gonna, my eyes look like they're about to pop out of my head as I, slow turn over to Lakir. And I'm gonna be like, "You never tell me anything."
Well, sorry.
You have a lot of explaining to do.
You're telling me.
You're right. I was more hoping to save this for after everything was completed. Ask for forgiveness rather than permission, but I guess you all deserve to know. I've made a couple of deals with a personage I've come across named Vivian. She is a newborn god whom I suppose and have learned is dark, at least forbidden to speak of in other circles.
Yeah, I hear she's the reincarnation of Vecna.
Quite. As such, I made some deals. Originally, it was to allow myself to return, to finish my business with my father, I'll say looking down at him. And in order to do that, a sacrifice had to be made. 3,000 of them, to be exact. I believe that you've already helped with a majority of those, Torinn. Not that it was on purpose, of course, but it's still helpful nonetheless, so thank you. I need to complete this. It's not only for myself. It is not just my life that I am trying to save. I've promised all of yours. Not to her, as protection. She can't touch you for as long as I live. Nor can she touch the remaining surviving residents of Great Grimbopolis, or Fort Outcast, or a majority of the material realm. If we sacrifice but 750 more.
In order to sacrifice them, do they just need to be dead, not by your hand or anything?
Essentially, I think their lives need to be cut short by something of my doing. I don't believe that I would have any claim to their souls if they died of natural causes.
Now that I think about it, as we're sitting around, there very well might still be a war going on at Great Grimbopolis.
Which brings me to my second point, and I pull out the staff. I'm willing, with your agreement, to evacuate all but the 750 required before I bring the city dropping to the ground, killing the remainder inside.
So Tess is gonna walk up, hand the 10 good berries to the group of kids that just have newly claimed bodies. I'm gonna turn back and I'm gonna look at Lakir and be like, before the Grey Aura, I never made a lot of decisions. I just went along with whatever was happening. And then I wouldn't hurt people when we fought because I didn't think I was responsible that way. But I know that I have been, and that all of our decisions have a lot of effects. And I've been really happy with most of the decisions we've made. But 750 is too many. Whatever the deal is, I'll get you out of it.
I don't think that is possible, Tess.
I'll offer far more than you ever have.
I made a fey bargain.
Whatever this is, we can get you out of it. We've done so much already.
If 3,000 souls are not provided to Vecna, by the time the city falls, I will die. This isn't a negotiation.
Where can I find Vecna?
Your guess is as good as mine. She appears to me more often than I call to her.
I'm gonna try to freaking summon Vecna right now.
If you're gonna summon Vecna, DC is 20.
Or not summon, but gain discourse with her.
Roll me a either history or religion check, your choice. And I'm going to say DC 13 to gain information, but if it's higher, I will give you more.
18.
18. Okay, that's actually really good. So with an 18, you know that Vecna only appears to people who are willing to make bargains with her.
I am very willing.
As you think to yourself that you're willing to make this bargain with Vecna, you feel her inky black tendrils wrap around your mind and pry for more. She wants to know what your bargain is before she appears. If you would like to call upon Vecna and try and wager your bargain to her.
So I mumble in a soft prayer, trying not to let anybody hear around. Vivian, I know you have entered a bargain with my friend that may cost 750 lives, but I offer you...
Jack would like to interject. Wait! Did you say when the city falls is when your deal ends?
As far as I know, the terms aren't drastically specific. If I recall correctly, it was 3,000 souls during the Battle of Great Grimbopolis. Who knows? Perhaps between the armies fighting by now, a majority of those have already been provided.
Why would the city fall? What would cause it to fall?
Me.
What if you never made the city fall?
The battle would end, the souls would not be provided, and I would die. Great Grimbopolis falling is something for my personal pleasure.
Falling in a metaphorical sense, not necessarily a literal sense?
Quite literally.
Quite literally falling. But if it never falls, if you never make it fall, does the bargain ever come to pass?
It was during the Battle of Great Grimbopolis.
Alright.
If the battle ends, hostilities cease. It's over.
Okay.
Hearing the idea slowly fade and not come, I'll continue with my offer of all this for one soul. But I offer you a twofer instead. Take my soul. Wield it as leverage to use to manipulate and control Lakir. What I'm asking for is the completion of Lakir's deal, but for my soul instead of his. And then you somewhat still gain control of his through manipulation.
You hear a whisper respond, "Hello, Tess. Though I do appreciate this bargain, Lakir has offered me more than just his soul. Lakir has offered me 750, and
Well, if he fails.
if he fails, then I mark the survivors under my command, under my tutelage, my godhood. They will be my followers. What can you offer me more than followers or souls?" I'll give you a moment to think about how you want to respond, Tess, so let's jump back over to the rest of the group.
I know it is a ghastly deal, but think about the measures that could be taken to prevent suffering and death for future generations to come. We could rebuild the world if we sacrifice but a little now. I didn't expect any of you to agree with this, which is why I thought it better left unsaid. Litsea, you send me back.
I'm going to cast Banishment at 5th level and send me and Lakir back to Great Grimbopolis.
Okay, there's no roll needed if you choose to fail.
Yeah, no, I'm letting her do it.
Okay, Lakir and Litsea vanish from your guys' presence. Let's hop back over to Tess for a moment to continue his conversation with Vecna.
So you already control the 750 souls, whether they die or not.
Well, only through a Fey bargain do I control them. Lakir promised me them through a Fey bargain, meaning before I did not have control of these souls, and now, either way I do. I'm a god of secrets, and well, godhood comes with its pleasures, but leaving you alone for the rest of your life will be one that I will not take pleasure in. I was excited to have each of your party as servants. And though what Lakir did is, well, not heroic by any means, I do think it is noble.
Then I offer mine for 400.
400 what? She smiles at you menacingly, relishing the thought that she's making you give her more details. Your soul for 400.
Either that or you make an enemy of what will soon be an archdruid of the Fae.
Roll me an intimidation check with advantage.
So that's just the 17 flat.
That passes.
So essentially 400 are cleared.
400 are cleared, but you are now marked.
Yes.
You feel a burning sensation on your wrist, and you are now marked with the sign of Vecna.
Well, I return and I just say, it's only 350.
Okay, you appear to Lakir and Litsea right before they disappear from this banishment spell, and you say 350, I've taken care of it. And you show them the mark on your arm, and then they disappear. In that moment.
Before we bamf out to one of my last promises to each of you would have been, I will spare all that I can.
Lakir and Litsea, you guys appear back in Great Grimbopolis, the exact place that you guys transported away from. And the battle is still commencing. What are you doing?
Taking cover.
Yeah. I'll take cover with her and say, well, we could just let it continue. Eventually, it would minimize the amount of souls that we have to gather. Maybe we could take a short rest.
Lakir and I take a little nappy nap while the battle's going on.
Just I imagine us just sitting on top of the palace, kicking our legs off the roof and just being
eating some snacks, reading some books.
Litsea, roll me a perception check with advantage.
11.
You notice that the effects of the purple goop within the people of Great Grimbopolis has greatly diminished. Without the lead of Amulek, it seems that you have the part of Amulek's soul that would command them. And without a commander, they're not doing anything. And Lilith's army is still attacking them, but they're not fighting back anymore. They're just sitting idly, watching and waiting for a command.
I'm going to relay that observation to Lakir.
Even better. How many under your control?
250, I believe.
All right. Rather than having them be on the consciousness of Lilith's warriors, draw them back. I'll order an evacuation and inform them all that those at the mark are to be left behind.
Can I do that with my mind, or do I do
Yes.
that by commanding? Okay. So I'm just going to stand up, power stance, close my eyes, and attempt to command this army to stop.
You command the army to stop, and all at once, they look directly towards you, just like how they did in Raven's castle.
May I borrow your broom?
What? You haven't given me a lot of reasons to trust you.
Fair, but I've always returned it, haven't I?
You can have it, but if you try to take it from me, I will kill you, Lakir.
I'm simply ordering the evacuation.
Torinn, Jack, Tess, you guys are still in the Feywild, and Boggy Billy looks over at you and says, "So guys, I also have banishment. I noticed that your other friends over there up and left you, so if you need that assistance, I can banish you out of here if you like." I don't know exactly what they're doing right now, but I have the ability to send you back to where you came from if you like. I have that spell prepared, but that's completely up to you. I know that a few of you, I can sense it. I'm kind of a conduit between the two worlds. I can sense that a few of you are actually native to the Feywild at this point. So I don't know if banishment's going to do lots of good, but I could try if you want.
A minute is still a lot of time.
Kind of want to go back, but at the same time, I kind of don't.
Same.
You know?
Exactly. That's why I'm like,
You know, speaking of which, Torinn, you know the exact location of where your father is.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
You know exactly where your father is. You know that your father has the ability to bring back the Dragonborn as well.
Okay.
So if you were interested in that line of action, it would be finding your father would be kind of how you would go about that.
Okay. I think that's what I'll do.
So as you go to leave, what's the fastest creature you can think of? As you're like preparing to leave, assumably telling us that you're...
An ostrich. That's
An
what
ostrich?
That's what it's going to be.
Okay.
I'll like sit back like, yeah, of course. And I'll polymorph you into an ostrich so you can haul butt over to your dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and then I just, my way out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
what
you
sound an
ostrich make. As you are polymorphed into an ostrich, Torinn, you take off out of Mama Sherry's house, and you were heading straight towards the Wintercourt Castle to get to where your father is. But as you do that, you receive a message from an unknown source saying, "Whoever killed Amulek, King of the Shadowfell, now lays claim as heir to the throne. Torinn of the Dragonborn people, bring your Dragonborn brethren and claim your rightful place as ruler over the Shadowfell." And the message disappears, and you have this new sense of hope and assurity as you're running towards this Wintercourt Castle, but you know deep within your heart that this is the last time that you will ever see any of your party members. And so, though this new chapter of your life is opening with the Dragonborn people and you being the ruler of the Shadowfell, you unfortunately know that this is the end of the chapter with you and the rest of the Grey Aura. Jumping back to Jack, who is watching this ostrich just take off into the sunset that is Torinn, one of these children approaches you, Jack, and says,
"My boy, I noticed that mug anywhere. How you been? You don't recognize your old man?"
Not when he's 7. You can't take it seriously. Like, the emotional volatility and just everything. Like, I think, honestly, Jack is losing his mind right now. He's not capable of processing all of the emotions that have been going on? Like, first we gotta save the city, and then he makes a deal, and boom, now we're here. And then Lakir's like, and then Litsy's, and like a lot of twists going on for Jack personally.
Right.
And now his dad is 7.
And as you're like trying to process this emotion, a bunch of the other kids like run up to you that are also 7-year-olds, and are like,
Are you our new dad? We don't have anyone taking care of us. I haven't gotten fed candy in a long time, and I'm hungry. Do you have food?
I'm sure I have a piece of candy from somewhere on me, right?
Yeah. You give them a piece of candy, and they hungrily eat it up.
Give him a piece of candy. I'll pull it out of my pocket, just staring at this 7-year-old who is my father.
I will cast at 4th level Good Berry.
Okay,
and hand Jack, like, behind my back, a bunch of good berries.
Yeah. So you hand Jack all these good berries, and you're able to distribute them to all of the children that are amongst this hut. But Litsea, a minute passes, and you are brought back to your plane of existence, the Feywild. So you pop back into existence.
I have my broom!
And Lakir is in the material plane, free to make whatever actions he chooses. And so you notice that Torinn is gone. You notice that Jack is surrounded by children. And you notice that Tess is like handing good berries to Jack one by one, trying to make it really stealthy so that the kids don't notice.
So I pop back into the room and hold my hands behind my back and nonchalantly walk towards Jack and Tess.
I pull out the spear, point it right at her because I have no idea. Because he's seen you in this form for a total of, 30 seconds maybe, and then you pop back into existence, and you're not Litsea anymore, like, in his mind, and he's losing it.
I'm gonna say, Jack, I just wanted to report on what we could see in Great Grumbopolis. The war was still going on, but it turns out that as I reached full Rakshasa form, I had control over the army that was fighting against Lilith and her army, so I was able to put a stop to it. The minute passed by very, very quickly, and suddenly Lakir is the only person there, which wasn't really my intention, but that's the report that I have for now.
Well, if you need some more time there, I'll look like Boggy Billy. She can have my banishment.
Oh, yeah. You want to be banished?
Yes, please. I really don't want to be here.
Litsea, he casts banishment on you, and you're gone.
As she gets zipped out, I'm going to be like, if she didn't take the goop out, I would have killed her. Very calmly.
That's the most violent thing Tess has said this whole time.
Lakir, we are going to go back to you. You are flying over the city. What are you commanding to this army?
Yes, so I will look out and try to find Lilith as well as Torinn, and essentially just inform both of them. My father, Amulek, has fallen. We've won. Withdraw your forces, and I will begin an evacuation. Try to keep a distance from the city. Set up a perimeter 2 miles out.
Okay.
That's what I tell them. And then I will go and fly above the entire army.
Yeah, Lilith, upon you saying that, is like, you heard him, warriors! All back! And then, along with the 250 that Litsea has control over, Lilith and all of the people of Great Grumbopolis start filing out. And there are still 2,000 people who are on bed rest in the druid's hut.
Also, at the same time, I'll grab Lilith's arm as she's leaving and say, I have secured the future of Fort Outcast, Great Grumbopolis, and its citizens. We shan't be harmed by dark forces outside of this world. All I ask is a small plot of land outside of the city that we rebuild to allow myself some comfort as I grow older and to watch over the city. Is this amiable to you?
Oh, done. I have just the plot of land that I was thinking of as you were saying that. I can provide you a small keep, a place to put a tower or two, if that's what you desire. And I don't be thinking that we'll be naming it Fort Outcast anymore, seeing that we're not really Outcast anymore, but you said that you're part of the Grey Aura, correct?
Correct. Me and my friends.
I want this place to be a haven from the dangers of the outside world, so can I call the new city Greyhaven?
I think that is an apt name.
Well, I think that's what I'll do. And she files all of her men out. You are able to get all of the people that you need out. You have 350 souls that are left in Great Grimbopolis. Litsea, you appear at this time.
And I will hand her back her broom.
Thank you. You left me stranded.
Well, it wasn't really my choice, was it? Not my fault you go dipping in and out of existence.
Speaking of, I only have 1 more minute.
All right, what do you want to do?
I don't know. I guess I want to say goodbye.
Goodbye. It's been wonderful knowing you, and I hope that we can continue our friendship after this point. I plan on building a portal to the Feywild and perhaps other realms as well, to explore and keep connections.
Great. Well, I'm sure I'll see you around.
What are you going to be doing?
I'm not entirely sure. I think I'll be on the road for a while.
All right. Oh, you should maybe release Torinn's father. I know we originally went to Raven's Castle to get him, and I don't think we ever quite accomplished that task. It's the only loose end I really have left of my journey.
I have a good feeling that he's going to be able to do that on his own, but that's very thoughtful of you.
Well, you all helped achieve my goal. It's only fair I help achieve all of yours.
Well, Akir, I can't wait to see what you do. I'm going to shake your hand.
Mid-shake, you pop back into the Feywild. You see Jack is still surrounded by these children. You see Boggy Billy is giving like the rundown of this portal that he's also planning on building in his forest that is a connection between the Feywild and the material plane. And he says, Tess, I want to thank you for watching after my forest for a while. When I woke up, I noticed that Tim was kind of caring for the trees, and so I made sure to bring him. He's outside.
I love Tim.
I would like to see him one last time.
One last time?
I'm going to gesture before I head off to Amulek's dead corpse and the staff that I assume is sitting next to him.
Tess, you gesture over to Amulek's dead body and then notice a glimmer of something. So go ahead and roll me an investigation check as you loot Amulek's dead body.
So that's 4.
4? Okay. Well, he has a bunch of stuff on him, but the only things you're able to find are the Staff of the Feywild, which you gave him, as well as the Combustible Atomic Transporter, or the CAT. This is what he used to create 5 duplicates of himself at a cost of having his own HP every single time he made a new clone.
Well, I'll take the Staff of the Feywild and hand it to Boggy Billy, and I'll take the Combustible and put it in Jack's hand. I bet this might make parenting a little easier.
You give Jack this Combustible Atomic Transporter and tell him that being 5 parents will make his life much easier than if he was just 1 parent.
And then I'll go out to see Tim and just hang out with him until Vecna claims my soul.
Sounds great.
As I notice that these children have taken a liking to Jack.
They're all punching him in the leg.
Right? Yeah.
Dad.
I've been here just enough to kind of catch the drift of what's going on. And I'm going to walk. I'm just going to casually, hands behind my back again, trying to play it cool. I'm going to walk towards the stairs that go upstairs. And I'm going to say, Jack, Mama Sherry would like you to know that you're welcome to keep this place as your home. I'm not going to need it, so it's all yours. And then I'm going to look at Tess and say, Tess, I will never meet a person for the rest of my days that has as good of a soul as you. I'm going to hop on my broom and yeet out of there as fast as I possibly can.
Okay, let's join Lakir. Lakir, you have got everyone out except for the souls that you require.
Correct, and 750 is actually what I'm still aiming for.
Oh, okay.
I know with Tessa's deal, the only reason, because part of the deal was that she couldn't touch my friends. And so I don't know if that was a deal until after I provided the souls or not. In any shape, I would have still done the 750. If I believe even for a second, it might save Tess.
Yeah, you leave 750 people inside of the walls. Everyone gets a good 200-yard radius around the city, which you can determine is sufficient to keep everyone safe out of the distance.
I'll just shout to everyone, essentially like I'm trying to give like a speech, a victory speech type thing. Today, many sacrifices were made. Many lives were lost, and the fear and courage and bravery of all of you is admirable. Let today be a reminder that those who would wrong the people of this realm, those who would think themselves above the rules and laws of our people, will be brought to justice and made to pay for their crimes.
You say that, and you hear in the crowd Blink, the leader of the Gnolls, casts thaumaturgy on himself and is repeating every single word that you just said to the entire crowd to make sure that everyone heard. But then he puts everything in air quotes and then cites your name at the end so that everyone knows that it was from you.
Perfect. And then, like, as it goes, I will simply just bang the staff twice, and I'll say, "Now watch as the sins of my father disappear." And I'll throw the staff into the air, and I'm assuming since I've already used it, I'm giving it back to Vecna, essentially.
It disintegrates in the air, and you watch as Great Grimbopolis falls. And with that, I believe that's where we're going to end our campaign. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Cade. I'm the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by the wonderful, amazing, awesome players.
Mason, playing Lakir.
Brooklyn playing Litsea.
Jameson playing Dad.
Danny playing Tess.
Caden playing Torinn.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to record a special at some point called Talked Prone, where we talk about all the decisions that were made behind the scenes in this campaign. And then starting with campaign 2, we will have Talked Prone be on a more consistent basis. We'll see if we can get Jameson in for it because he's moving to Alaska. Woo! Thank you so much for being here and listening to our story. I'm so grateful for everyone here. There's been blood, sweat, and tears from every single one of us in making this campaign. So if you appreciate what we've done in this campaign, go on over to patreon.com/knocked and support our podcast because there will be more to come. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Cade again, and we hope you remember when life knocks you flat on your back, all you got to do is keep rolling, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.